Hello everybody and welcome to a new video today. Today's video is a tutorial on a program called NetLimiter 3. I got the Pro package. Basically the program looks like this. This is how you get it. Obviously I've registered under my name, which is John, in case no one knows. And basically it's so easy to use. You know, you've got four different layouts. You've got main, you've got compact, which obviously takes away the info bar. You've got full, which is obviously full screen, which is just not needed. And obviously you've got custom where you can set yourself. I'll just stick it on main, it's just as easy. There we go. Only need to see the processes at the end of the day and the stats. So basically I'm going to jump into how this works. But before I do, I'm just going to obviously show you where to get this from. You're going to want to go onto Google obviously and type in netlimiter.com. And obviously it'll bring you to their site and just go to the purchase page just there. And the one I've got is NetLimiter 3 Pro, single user license, which is roughly 20 Great British pounds, $29.95 United States dollars. And obviously you can try the trial, but the trial only lets you monitor your connections. You can't edit any connections or limit connections and stuff like that. So you want to go for obviously the paid for package. There probably are other ways to get it on the internet, you know what the internet's like these days, but I'm not going to go into that. I bought it, so job done. So basically once you've bought it and installed it and everything else, it will obviously come up like this. And basically what the program does is lets you limit connections. It lets you limit processes that use your internet connection. So obviously I don't need to really worry about that because I've got like a 120 meg broadband, and obviously I've got enough of a connection there to obviously stream in my house. You know, missus be on a laptop, kids be playing a game on a PlayStation online, and me playing a game at the same time whilst downloading like a series or something. But sometimes obviously having a high connection like mine can obviously lag you out on certain games. You know, like P2P games and Call of Duty in general. You know, with its lag compensation, it does seem to add quite a lot of what's called anti-lag, lag comp, or whatever to my connection. But you can limit that with this program, which I will go into at the end of the video. But right now, let me show you how this basically works. You've got your units here, which obviously bytes, kilobytes, megabytes, gigabytes, kilobits, megabits, and gigabits. Okay, you're going to want to put it on kilobytes. Just for the fact of when you download something off the internet, you know, if it downloads at 100 KB or say 1 megasecond or something like that, you know, the average is it'll be in KB, you know, so it's just easier for everyone else to understand. So basically you want to go online, say you want to, I don't know, say you've missed Top Gear and you wanted to download the last episode because your missus is too busy watching EastEnders or something, you know what life's like. So you go to obviously download options, download from Windows Media Player. Obviously you can do portable devices, half the size, but I'm going to do Media Player today just because it's a bigger file and my connection will download it super fast. So I'm going to click download, you know, and obviously that's like 1 minute left. So obviously I have to be pretty quick. I'm going to find Google. Obviously that's downloaded quite fast. I'm going to limit this straight away. I'm going to limit it to 100. Enable that and save. So it was obviously creeping up and it would have gone to about 12 megabytes a second download, you know, so super fast. But I've obviously limited that now. I've limited that to 100 KB. So obviously that's dropping right down now. It's picking back up and it will limit to 100 exactly. And it'll stay at that until I uncheck that box. You always do it on this line obviously because it's the download limit. So anything you're downloading, you want to obviously edit this section here. Anything you're uploading, say you wanted to limit your upload to YouTube, for example, while you play a game, you'd obviously find a process for Google Chrome when you're uploading, and you'd obviously click that, and you'd say, I don't know, say your maximum is 50 kilobytes a second upload, for example. Obviously, you'd set that to at least 25% of that, you know, so you'd put like a 10 or a 12.5 kilobytes a second, you know, and obviously click save. But obviously, I'm just describing this. And as you can see, it's limited my connection here, 5 minutes left. So if I open up a tab and open up downloads, you can see there is downloading that, well, it's it doesn't actually say the download speed, I don't believe. But anyway, you can see that there's 6 minutes left and it's downloading really slowly. But yeah, so that's basically that. I did say that I would cover Call of Duty, okay, and P2P, lag comp and all that sort of stuff. So obviously I will go through that, as most of my channel is about gameplays and everything else, and I only came across this yesterday. I did try it out and it does actually work. Especially if you've got a high connection like mine, that's not being used by people in the house and stuff like that. So, but before I do, obviously I'll just say, don't touch that. Don't edit that in any way, shape or form. Basically, whatever you edit here will change everything on your PC. So if you limit that one, for example, to 100 kilobytes a second, no other process running on your computer will download anything more than 100 kilobytes a second. So that's any, say, NVIDIA downloads, say it downloads your graphics driver, any Windows updates, any programs you download off the internet, any games that you run, anything. If you edit it here, obviously the max you're going to get is whatever you've set this limit to. Okay, so always find the process that you want to run it on, you know, and then obviously edit that process. So I'm going to take that off now. All you do is obviously uncheck the box. You can obviously click it and then add rule and blah blah blah, but it's just as easy just to click on the number on the upload or download. Job done. So that's obviously downloading now properly. Obviously that will speed up now. It'll take about a minute or two. So Black Ops. Basically, if you leave this unchecked and you've got a high connection like mine, obviously when you boot into the game it will see that you've got a really high connection. And if there's other people in the lobby that have only got like 1 megabyte broadband, you know, or even if they haven't got broadband fiber optic and maybe they're on like an old connection, like 0.2/0.01 upload or something, you know, obviously they're going to give them the better connection, and obviously you're just going to get screwed over. So the best bet what to do is use this program to limit that connection. And what I've done here, the setup I've got here is the optimum. I did play around with it and try going under 100 upload, because basically the upload is what you want to worry about for gaming, because it's uploading what you're seeing on your screen into the server. So obviously if that was unchecked, that would be more along the line, well, my upload is 7.2 megabytes. This is in kilobytes. So as you can imagine, my upload would read 7.2 if we're doing it in layman terms. So as you can see, what I've limited it to is an awful lot lower. Okay. The game itself, it uses such a minimal connection to upload your game and everything else. But what I did, it roughly averages around 20 to 90 kilobytes. But if you set it to 100 or just sub 100, then you'll get connection interrupt on your screen and stuff like that. And obviously, that's not what you want. But I did find on 125 for a 6v6 or a free for all, that's absolutely perfect. But if you obviously play ground war a lot, you're going to want to increase that by at least 25%. So you want to go to about a 170 to a 200 upload limit. Because obviously, if you're calling in kill streaks, other teams are calling in kill streaks, and you're shooting at the same time, running around, rendering all this stuff on your screen, it's obviously going to take more of your upload limit. So you want to increase that if you're going ground war. But if you're playing 6v6 or free for all, that is the right setting to use. Obviously you'll just check 125. I did limit the download as well, because obviously my download is, well, it's 120, you know, so I'll download at roughly, I think my highest download I've ever had is 14 megabytes a second, you know, and this is 300 kilobytes a second. So as you can see, quite a lot of difference, but basically that's like a 3 megabyte connection. So obviously enable that as well. And obviously when you boot into the game, because I've not got it run at the moment, you'll have another process underneath, which obviously you'll apply the same settings as above here to that. And all that is basically the port that you're using, which connects to their dedicated server. You know, so obviously the server reads that you've only got that connection as well. Some might say this is cheating, but it's not. In my opinion, it's not. I'm not lag switching or anything like that, and I only tried it out just as a test at the end of the day, just to see if it did combat the anti-lag, and it does. It does work. You know, I got a good game or two, but then obviously I had a few laggy games and stuff like that when people from Australia are connecting to someone who's playing in the UK like me, you know, which obviously that's down to the devs to fix. But I hope you did find this tutorial handy. I know it's been a bit long, a bit longer than I intended, to be honest, but I wanted to cover it in as much detail as possible. If you did like the video, feel free to leave it a like and drop a comment in the comment section. And if you haven't subscribed, please feel free to subscribe to more upcoming tutorials that I will be adding soon. I want to start doing some series on my YouTube channel. Feel free to actually check out my channel. I've recently done a new template for it as I became partner with TGN. And if you're interested in maybe me releasing obviously the template for it, then just drop me a comment either on my channel or on a video or PM me or whatever, and maybe I can sort out some sort of template with a few options and stuff, okay, and maybe a little tutorial on it. I hope you enjoyed the video, and goodbye for now.